Well, with Burlington's recent art hop, it may be hard to imagine another art scene kicking off. But starting tomorrow, Burlington's Bern Gallery will be hosting a week-long art competition called the Pipe Classic. Photographer Andy Gordon has that story.
12 expert glass blowers are in Vermont this week participating in a one-of-a-kind contest. They are not making vases or jewelry, but smoking pipes. The competition is taking place at the Bern Gallery in Burlington. Each artist has 12.
Vermont! Woo!
I'm Merc from Austin, Texas. Currently, I'm getting ready to move to Colorado. Been blowing glass since 2000. I definitely started with jewelry, but mainly American art pipe. What I got out of doing jewelry was learning how to work solid pieces more than hollow pieces, and it definitely shows up in my work. I do a lot of themes with solid and hollow mix. So I've got a wide variety of influences. My family first, you know, there's always that, and spirituality, and then, you know, a lot of really great pipers and other artists, but the list is way too long to even go through. The world that surrounds me is my influence, you know. It's hard to categorize, but I absorb a lot from science fiction, day-to-day life, you know, emotions that we work through as humans. My recent works have reflected a lot of like psychedelic kind of inner thought direction, with a lot of characters having third eyes and representation of soul searching and deep spiritual things. And I've been experimenting a lot with, you know, adding different textures to bring the pieces to life a little bit more. and trying to just explore a lot of color combinations in an organic setting. I think that a lot of concepts in our culture are alien to us as humans. So I've kind of gotten on this kick and just using the aliens, and this one's just, it's like what's going to happen this month. The next month it'll probably be something different. The Pipe Classic, since it's been around, it's featured a lot of competitors who have worked and dedicated themselves to be completely serious artists and really try to push the envelope and make it different. And as an artist, for me, a lot of my pieces take a long time to make. I'm critical. I'll throw things away. I won't be happy with certain things. And the challenge itself is 12 hours long, and in that 12-hour time, it's hard for the caliber of artists that come to this to make their normal caliber of work, and I think that giving us 12 hours makes this the toughest competition almost you could do for the people that are here. I mean, 12 hours, it's almost enough time to really go crazy, but then if you go too crazy, it can cause total catastrophe. So it's like the NASCAR of pipe competitions, and it's a great time. The competition's not with other glassblowers, it's with yourself. And 12 hours, I was able to accomplish making my piece in 12 hours, and so to me, I won right there. I'm good. It doesn't matter. I don't care if anybody else notices. I made something impressive in 12 hours. It was stressful. I couldn't even sleep the second night. So, I mean, it's tough. It's a tough competition. It's exactly what I expected, but then I was also pleasantly surprised at the reception that the artists have gotten and to just Burlington side of itself. Hey. No. That was a quarter of a second. That means I still get the rest of those you guys took from me. This is fucked up. This is where the real pressure comes into Pipe Classic. It's the UVing process. That shit's real. If you'd have asked me last week this is what I would be doing, it's not what I thought would happen. I chose this piece out of my sci-fi lineup. The concept is it's supposed to be a kind of a space worm who has this little symbiote guy who will eventually evolve into an alien. And if you read the write-up and check the piece out, it's kind of a strange Mars alien. And I just wanted to do something different that I knew nobody else would be doing at the Classic. And I figured that might be the direction. It actually features a 8-hole perk stem, glass on glass, mostly North Star Fritz. Killed it with 7 minutes left to go. And it was pretty tough. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
All right, my name is Micah Evans. I go by me, my initials. I got about two sides to my whole artistic career. One side's been a craft side, the other side's been my fine art side, and they rarely get to commingle. This is kind of a shape that I've been playing with a lot in the last year, and the orchids have been something I've made for the last 4 or 5 years on my fine art side. So I've never really gotten a big chance to put them both together. So the Pipe Classic was a blessing in disguise, letting me do that for the first time. So this is the number 2 in a Crossroads series, where my craft side and my art side meet. It's all based on simple lines and simple function. Function always comes before form with me, so it's just a little twist on a natural perk. Hollow ring, which seals at the bottom, perks twice in here, and actually when the splash from these 2 perks gets caught up in what I call the fountain perk here, and so there you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 perks in a natural perk. No funky seals, all exterior seals. They're really clean and really stable, but extremely functional. The fact that it was extremely challenging to get these flowers onto the pipe. They're extremely fragile, and to be hauling this thing in and out of the kiln the whole time and not break them off was a big challenge. In fact, I blew up a couple of them, but it came out really clean. It came out really well, and I know I'm going to be doing a lot more in the future. Once they're on there, they're pretty stable, so it's exciting. It's actually, the Pipe Classic is going to push my work in a whole new direction that I was kind of timid and afraid of going. So, yeah.
Salt, and I'm from Austin, Texas. Been blowing glass since May 2001. When I started making these pipes, there was I wasn't making them, with the intention of trying to sell them or needing to make money off of them. I was just making them because I liked it and it was interesting. And actually, I didn't really think that I was going to be able to sell them because they took me so long to make. I thought, there's no way somebody's going to spend over $100 or whatever on this type of a piece, and of course a couple years later they're spending a heck of a lot more than that. So like the first piece that I made in this style, like I said, I didn't really have any intention of selling it, or that's not why I was making it anyway. I mean, I guess maybe in the back of my mind I'd hope somebody would want it enough to buy it, but it was just something I was interested in trying out. And I took some other, regular pieces over to a buddy of mine's shop, one of the few places I was actually selling pipes to at the time. And, and after he was done picking everything out, I was like, oh yeah, I got this piece too, and I just want to show you guys. And he was into it, and so I was like, all right, well, I'll just consign it to you. There's no way you're going to sell this piece for, 120, 150 bucks or whatever it was going to be retail. And he did in like 2 weeks or less or something. And when he told me the story of how the guy, pulled up in his Mercedes and then jumped out and was like, oh, I'll take that. Like as soon as he walked in the door, it kind of, I don't know, it was just this a strange feeling to feel like somebody actually was as excited about the work as I was, or even close, you know. And so it opened my eyes to the fact that there was possibility in this I don't know, genre. Man, I don't even know exactly how it happened, but somewhere along the way it really caught on and people dig them. My first inclination is to say, well, I'm influenced by everything. You know, I put whatever I'm feeling or whatever's going on in my life into my work, and that really, like, at a you know, in like a base way, like is how I operate. For me, it's obvious I'm influenced by surrealistic artists. So you could cite, you know, Escher and Dali and, you know, and so on and so forth. But it, you know, because of the way that I feel like my mind works in terms of like soaking up information, whether it's like TV or, you know, advertisements, anything. And then when I sit down and actually execute, you know, and work on this style, it just happens. Like it's really natural, you know. It just kind of, it's like the path of least resistance for me. Try to like put intellect behind what, you know, the decisions that I'm making, you know. In other words, like I don't just do something that I think is going to fail, but I try to figure out like, well, why would it fail, and then how can I do something to keep that from happening or whatever. And so I think that the style is a result of these influences, you know, my desire to be different, to you know, to set myself apart stylistically, and because it's really, personally, it's really important to me to not copy, and there's a fine line between being influenced by and copying. It's like copying is like more about learning. Hopefully you're always learning, but eventually you like take that step and you're like, okay, this is my style. It's almost like making a decision and sticking with it, you know. It's like growing up or something. I don't know. I always associated it with as like being more accomplished to have my own thing that was like set aside or set apart from, you know, what influenced me. I read something somewhere, I think it was Adbusters, that we see as Americans, or on average, we see like 3,000 advertisements a day. And if you break that down, that's like once every 30 seconds, you know. And so that's like magazines, TV, billboards, you know, bathroom stalls, fucking whatever, you know. Your cell phone will send you advertisements now. And that information is all designed to like stick in your head, you know, whether it's a jingle or the way that the colors are set up. I mean, it's all been figured out for quite a while, and they're getting better and better at it. And, you know, even down to like subliminal messages. And that stuff sticks in your head whether you want it to or not, you know. So I could sing you like the freecreditreport.com song, not because I want to, but because it was designed that way, and that's how my mind works. And so my reaction to that is to kind of like, you know, I just I can put it, yeah, exactly, and you know, maybe kind of angrily sometimes, but it's my way of taking something that's like kind of negative in my, you know, in my perspective, and like turning it positive, using that energy. Like it's energy all the same, but it's like kind of negative energy in that light, and I take it and just push it into the work. And then I feel like I can, you know, kind of take a step back from that stuff a little easier, you know, not be as bothered by it.
So, I guess we're going to talk about this work that I made here, and the whole point of this piece was that I was drawing my inspiration from like the entire scene and kind of looking at it as a whole. because it's made up of all these different types of people that are involved. You got the shop owners and the distributors and the people who document the work. You got people like you guys making films, photography, journalists, people who sell raw supply, and then of course like collectors and artists. And I just kind of wanted to talk about the fact that the scene is something special, but it's only what it is with all those different influences kind of mixing together, intermingling. And while each part of the scene has its merit and has its place, when they come together, they make this incredibly beautiful thing that both feeds my my mouth and my stomach, but also my sense of need to create and interact. I've made some of the closest friends that I have through the glass scene, and so this piece is about all, it's made up of 15 different pipes and a couple of just solid sculptural elements, and they come together to create this one larger composition, and that I think is it's greater than the sum of its parts, but I think also one of the most important parts of this work for me was the idea that because they're mounted on this piece of metal with magnets, that whoever would like can come in and participate and move the pieces around into different positions, kind of playing to the idea of the different perspectives of all these different participants. And that's kind of what I was asking of them, is just they participate one more time and get involved, because I think it for me, it makes my piece better to have them all here and have them put their hands on it. So that's what it's about. Thanks.
I think a lot of these guys are more open to the pipe making industry, or not even the pipe making industry, but just simply putting their artwork on a pipe as the canvas. And maybe the pipe, maybe using your canvas or having your canvas be a pipe isn't so taboo as it once was. I think a lot of glassblowers don't feel like they want to, they keep their pipes separate. Their pipe making part of their career is separate from their art career, and now they're melding the two finally. And now we're getting some amazingly high caliber art. So it's not to say that weren't always making sick things, but maybe they left it off their pipes. And now they're saving some of their most fabulous work for their pipes, and it's amazing. I mean, I'm blown away by Salt. I didn't actually know of until I saw him in the flow, and he blew me away right off the bat. I didn't even know about him, and his sculpture work is so unique, and his pipes are so unique and so cool, and I loved how every pipe or project with him was a preconceived idea, and it never really seemed like production to him.
Push you out of the way. Get out of here.
Alright, got a Dutch but I need a light like a first person shooter. I'm an overriding a beat like a scooter, a tutor teaching. With a speech I'm preaching, can I learn a lesson? We need to invest in a destiny. Look to the future for my children. I'll travel on earth like a pilgrim, never making them million. Taking it to the top, yeah, the ceiling. Bringing it back, touch your feet, girl. Listen as I bring the heat, girl. Living the beacon out your seat, girl. Moving on the floor, like what's the difference? I don't need 50 cents to get tipsy. I can get drunk and bump Smitty. Listen as I break the barrier, taking care of your fucking fat and vacate. Sick like malaria and tricking on the beat. That mean that ingredients on the rise. Smile, I'll be here for a while. Gotcha, trapped in a movie like a monster. I'm an apocalyptic Christian, loving everybody in the world, no question. My best weapon is my arsenal. The linguistics don't have one flow, always moving it like Alvin's metamorphosis. Off the hinge and always rock the split.
No, but I make way, don't roll, but I take names. Bring home with an ink sustained. Take charge of the mic when I'm up on the stage. Never can wait to engage, but I patiently stay and sit back in a thick shade. Latency creates an increase in the effect of the exchange. Let me explain. Every display, delivering y'all from dismay. Never add no fixed rate. Going past those two, don't think straight. On a thin page, I'm crafting a magic that is attaching so many fragments that when it's fully intact, it's so massive. So subtracting planets and a vanish. And I come back, cause I've been obsessed with drum tracks since I was a rug rat. And stopping it now would give me a bum rap. So fuck that, I'm getting a club pack. Get pressed to the wall like thumbtacks. I'm stressing to all who love that. They go get a buzz sack and fill up a blunt rack. But chill, never do it on no guns at for real. But I still kick shit that's making them thugs clap. Still, I guess they loving it when I'm acting real. Shit, I ain't no gangster, but I kick massive pill. What? Baby, what can I do to get you in the mood? I ain't trying to be rude. I just wanna see you smile, because it makes me smile. As I wait for crews and make moves, I'm sipping straight booze and I'm singing the blues. I'm just trying to smile, whatever makes me smile.
It looks super tight.
Yeah, I know. I wish I had the time to really do like what I'd like to do with it, but I think I'm gonna have to just rip all this shit off and blast the legs straight. I don't have a whole lot to say about my piece. I just, let it speak for itself for the most part. It's all my demons wrapped into one: smoking, glass, and women. I don't know. I like to do the human form and the proportion and stuff, and I guess that's my thing. Yeah, I used blue caramel, which has this creamy fume to it, and then the rest is sandblasted, which reveals the black color underneath it. I did a good few double seals, which is kind of something I like to do when I do the knees or the elbows. You have to do like 2 seals at once. I kind of like the 2 tubes breaking off and then coming back together for some reason. I don't know. It's really challenging to do a piece in that time constraint. It's also, I feel it's good. It kind of pushes me and makes me see what I can really get done. And, it makes me feel lazy in my own shop, I guess. But at the same time, it's if I was to do that in my own shop, I'd probably, certain things that you kind of got to rush yourself a little bit, which is good and bad. It went pretty good. I'm happy with what I did, and I wasn't sure how I'd work out on all the proportions and stuff, but it went good. I didn't really have any real problems. Just everything went as planned, I guess.
My name's Eusheen. Been blowing glass for 10 years. Started in January 2000 in Oregon, in Southern Oregon. I really like going to places for the first time, experiencing them for the first time. I really like that fresh, new place feel. I think it's really awesome. But since it was so fun last year, I was really, really looking forward to coming back this year. And when I got here, instantly like at home kind of, you know, I was like, this is awesome. Last year here at the Pipe Classic, I learned so much from Freak and Scott Deppy, like majorly, like these disc flips here on the mouthpiece right here. You know, Freak like showed me this new way to do the lines that I never knew before, and so when I learned that, it was just mind explosion. I went home and did disc flips for like frickin' 3 months straight. You know, just like couldn't stop, and that's the other awesome thing about Pipe Classic, is that we can come here and learn from everyone. Everyone learns from everyone, and it's sick. I learned from Mike Luna, who was learning from Darby, and I was also learning from Darby. So those were my main teachers in the beginning. I originally wasn't going to make it this tall, but it just got taller and taller, and I was like, well, that's cool. I'll just make it. And I wasn't originally going to do this either, but I was like, you know what, I want to add some more style into it, and you know, I do these a lot, and then I wanted to make a really big bubble on the bottom, and those were basically the two things I knew that I was going to do. Is I knew I was going to make a giant bubble, and I knew I was going to make a really nice mouthpiece for it. And besides that, it was just kind of freestyle. I didn't know what else I was going to do, and that's usually how my pieces are. Like, they're really freestyle. I hardly ever draw anything out, and I'm always just, you know, I change my mind in the middle of a piece a lot of times. Sometimes I will draw them out, but they never turn out like the drawing.
Synthesize the melody, elevating the pedigree. Excellence is in order, the sentences is composed. The messages is supposed to be showing evidence, portraying the Mexican. For the rest of this, what I'm suggesting is never sweating the prevalence of propaganda. Oh, swing gonna slam ya, but when the younger you're a grandpa, but we growing older. When you're into it, shrug your shoulders, living like we're supposed to. Means looking for an 9 to 5, try to find it, define my life. Shine the light, oh.
Frosted streets underneath the stars, I'm getting lost in the crosswind. My God, all of the charts are falling apart. It's a good thing they weren't important. Brace yourself, coming in hot, bout to the face the ground when I'm plummeting steps. And when we touch and the earth shakes, there's so much sound it reverberates. Clouds at the burning gate. Why is it with the swinging diamonds to perforate the silence? I just regurgitate the silence, smiling as the murder rate rises. Childish, trying to hide from the violence.
No, misbehaving, not pretending that I'm harder than on the pavement. I don't take risks, but I take shit, and I shake fists when I'm frustrated. Like I must make it. I waited a little, but don't deserve it. I haven't earned it. I just been burning a little herbage for certain. It's gotta be harder than this.
Draw the curtains,
polish the split.
I'm off with like a harlequin.
Arguing with the short, concentrating and bordering abominable condiments. Unconscious to nonsense.
On the fence as to whether I should got the armaments. With my bank closed and the model lit slow. I'ma go the back door with my fist in the hex slow. Guess electro till I find out what the facts are.
Blast off, hit the beat like a jack off. Back off, I get bashful, but I am active. And suddenly got the passion for rapid reaction to gasoline. Stupid if you thinking I am acting like a bat wing cooked in darkness. In your ride, my music is caustic.
When I stop thinking, I get lost in the moment. My pace slows and time is less of an opponent. My next move is longer determined.
Well, my name's Eusheen. This is my piece. It's got a lot of sparkly stuff in it, and it's really kind of just an organic thing I made. I didn't have a plan at all. I just kind of freestyled it. So freestyle. I spent like a good hour and a half making that section, and I did some really big tube pulls when I made it. I did like the biggest tube pulls I've ever done with like 75 by 5. It was pretty big. Yeah. I wanted to definitely have a handle, and I had some amber purple, so I was just like, well, you know, comes out easy that way. Got to have a way to take your bowl out. Oh, it's not coming out of there. Oh, this is where I welded it right here, this big bubble right here, and it was really hard. It was very hard to spin. I had to hold it right here, and there was weight behind where I was holding it, so it was kind of a trip. I'd never done that before. Oh yeah, I used this color called Blue Stardust. It's like really sparkly, and I put it over this black, and I put it over this color called Amazon Night in the green, and that's what I really like that color a lot. It really came out really good on the back of this disc. You can see the sparkle. Alchemy made the Amazon Night. Trotman Art Glass made the Blue Stardust, and then the Jet Black is by North Star.
No looking by me, now living life like I'm 90, but not living blindly, minding meaning, feeling like I'm dreaming, all night to get the crowd screaming.
Frosted streets underneath the stars, I'm getting lost in the crowd.
Basically, I've got something on the inside. I have a little loop hanging down, and I'm making sure it's centered.
Oh, okay.
Before I put it away, I don't want it to slump while I'm
right on.
putting it away.
We've done already.
I'm Nate Dizzle, and my piece is a dinner bell hookah. It rings. It's a two-person hookah. It's got the mouthpieces that hang from the top. The color's called Serendipity. It's made by North Star, both the tubing and the rod. It's amber purple over white. And I'm just really stoked on my piece overall. It's based on my Swiss perk design, which is a filtration process.
Give a little sample of the Swiss percolation. Of course. Maybe I could mic the bubbles here. Hold on. truly magical.
You know, I battled the color just a little bit. I've never actually, I used it once before for just about 1 hour. So, I battled the color a little bit, but otherwise everything went really smooth. I was really impressed, with myself, just in general. I love hanging pieces. I don't know what it is. Wall hanging, just hanging in the middle of the room, whatever it may be. So I just wanted to go with that idea. It's something a little different. It takes it off the shelf, and I like doing that in general. It opens up displays for your work. And the hookah idea, I've been rolling with it more and more lately. I really like it for the Swiss perks. It makes them a little bit easier to clean. And in addition to that, the Bern Gallery is a hookah bar, and I wanted to bring what I could and what I thought would match the event and the venue.
The pipe classic, it's always evolving, it's always changing. And the one thing that's really important to note about the pipe classic is that it's a democracy. You think it's like we just finished our 4th one. When we started this, there was no pipe making competitions I'd ever heard of. So what do you have to compare it to? So next thing you know, here we're at the last, the closing minutes of Eusheen's heat, and he's making this stand for his pipe, and he went 3 minutes over, and now there's a whole mess of things we have to deal with, and policies we have to figure out, and right then and there. And and here, sometimes we'll have a situation where I might have 7 or 8 competitors all kind of ready, waiting for the answer, and the committee members have to deliberate and come up with an answer, and it works like poetry. The most important evolutions of the Pipe Classic was the formation of the Pipe Classic committee, and having the members on hand, and then basically a competitor has an issue, we figure it out. You know what I mean? We figure it out and handle it the most fair way possible. The one thing that is so crucial is that the event is truly fair, and the only way to do that is to keep the rules really, really simple. So the piece has to be made in the Bern Gallery or the Bern Gallery venues. It has to be a pipe, functional. It has to be made in 12 hours, and that's really firm. You go over by 2 seconds, and whatever you're touching you can't use. And the piece has to be made from scratch. That is, absolutely key. You can't bring any pre-made sections or pre-made anything. Or else it becomes like a weld-off, And it's not what we had in mind. We wanted to, and that's why we give 12 full hours. I feel like 12 hours was enough time to, really showcase somebody's work and what they can do. Maybe they won't be able to do everything they could do, but they could give a really good representation of their work. So they literally all the competitors can bring is tubing cut into thirds, rod cut into thirds. Actually, flying has kind of complicated the Pipe Classic a little bit, and airlines, and Bear Claw made it here with a butter knife, and that was it. So it gets a little tricky, but that's the rules of the Pipe Classic, which are the foundation, very important.
I mean, even though we have to start from scratch, I still can get 10 times more done than any other flame-off. Most flame-offs are like 2 to 3 hours. So far, Pipe Classic is holding it down as the fairest, longest time that you can have to make a pipe in a competition. So, since I'm a pipe artist, I can really do what I want to do, 100%, do what I naturally am good at, you know what I mean? And that's the beauty of the pipe flame-off. The beauty of the non-pipe art flame-offs is that it's making me try something that I haven't done usually, or I barely ever do, which is also really good. And I really like both of them for each thing. I couldn't say one's sicker than the other, but I really do like the people at the pipe flame-offs. Everybody here is just super cool, and it's really cool to meet up with everyone and chill with everyone. I really dig it.
My name's Carlson. I went with some really retro, just primary colors, try to be really bold. Usually I do a lot of fine line, black and white, mostly known for being colorblind, so I wanted to just get as bright and as loud and as bold as I could and use the traditional design that I normally do that works really good and make it huge. Well, they're both diffused, both a double bubbler, both of them are diffused with 3 holes. The design is inspired by German guys, and they do montage techniques, and so these are all separate sections that I build up into one section, then turn diagonal and re-reverse them, and so these are all balls of 3, and each one I have to make each color separate and put them together. And so it's just been something that I took from the German guys and simplified it, but made it more balanced and perfect. A lot of them are really abstract, and so I try to take an abstract design and give it balance.
Dellene, Peralta. So my theme was the Buddha piece. Used a lot of dichro and did some dichro honeycombing. I normally don't do stuff like this, so that was just no time to really do a lot of detail. So this was the easy way to just get some detail. And I was going for a Japanese style. It was kind of what I expected. I went through a couple of problems. The color that I started to use in the first for the Buddha was just awful, so I had to restart it over, and that kind of put my time on a crunch. So, yeah, that's fun. Cool. It's definitely fun. Awesome time.
I know about the spectrum in the sky, the scale of the moon, that pulling silky threads from which it's spun. To pluck them, string them down from star-splattered heavens is to watch lunar light prevail, never dimming, spilling silver patches over night-fallen lands as silk spins slowly out, unaffected. There is war, earth-dwelling violence vibrates massive as the moon, thread-pulling, protesting, will not shrink its cratered face. I know about craters in the earth, how they mine cavities in hearts and desecrate believers.
Check. Oh, I'ma shake you off, turn the breakers on. Ain't no telling what the topic of my paper's on. I don't make the songs that come from the box. Despite the apocalypse, I keep making love. With my fingers crossed, I stare up into the dark. It's the force that I'm sharing with the stars. From the cellar to the top and the space above. Underground, overzealous, to take the cup. Overhead, thunder pounds. I think it's like my favorite sound. Away from heaven, it still shakes the ground. For God's sake, how much does it take to vibrate the planet? Cause all I got is a migraine. My eyes are strained as I try to describe what divides the truth from the mind games. Catch me running crime waves on the New York Times page, written sideways, looking outraged.
My name is Ukiah, blow glass out of Portland, Maine, and I made this chopper. I use a combination of alchemy and North Star colors. Had a big problem with it, but I managed to recover somewhat so I can get into the show. I was pretty happy with that. This sculpting is definitely inspired by all the other artists I see all around. You know, they're doing some great work, and I try to push the envelope to keep up. It was a lot of fun to do. It was my first competition. I had 11 minutes to go, and I hit the blow tube off my back tire, and it knocked the entire back tire off. So that back tire is the results of 11 minutes of work to get the tire on, and so I could get it all functional. It's definitely functional. So it was fun. I had a good time. I was glad to be in this competition. Definitely thankful to be around all these great glassblowers. Inspiring.
You know, the road was really paved on its own, and I just followed it because, you know, we were all glassblowers, all working together in the same shop. Michaela and I, you know, started traveling around selling our glass, and we were surrounded by amazing artists, amazing glassblowers, pipe makers, and it just seemed natural. It was like we almost had to do it, and so we started traveling on the road, and then we would take our friends' glass, and that's how it started, and then, you know, ever since it's grown by leaps and bounds. The gallery opened in 2004, and you know, it was definitely a work in progress. We started off you know, with actually no glass blowing in the store at all. We started off, it was just a huge empty space, and it just seemed like space was all we had. And then we built one station up front, and then we were able to build the 2 stations in the back, and that's the venue that the Pipe Classic is held in now, is those 3 stations.
Wow, well, the Pipe Classic is definitely unique. It's no other event like it. I mean, there are events that have tried to be like it, I think, but the Pipe Classic is like the original, you know, it's kind of like the blueprint for this type of event, but it's more like, I don't know, it just feels like family around here, to be honest. It's as cliche as that may sound, like not knowing a lot of these people at all last year, or the first time I was here, they, you know, were like giving me nicknames and shit, and we're definitely, you know, telling jokes to each other that are like real familiar and stuff like that. And I think that I mean, you can have a bunch of torches and have, you know, the liquid oxygen and all the tools that it takes to have an event, but it takes a lot more than that to get all of these like really top name artists out here, and that usually becomes first, like, you know, prizes, of course, like that's a big deal, but those prizes don't just come out of nowhere either. Either somebody's throwing a bunch of money at it, or you get the respect of the community enough to have sponsors, you know, and like all that stuff comes into play. And really the people who put this event on are the kind of the thing that is, you know, you can't really even like put your finger on it, but it's so huge. It's like, you know, Tito, Michaela, Kate, Jenna, you know, Sarah May, this whole like structure that they have here that was, and I know all of those people at least were here last year. You know, I don't know how long all of them have been here, but those people are what make the Pipe Classic what it is, and also the town that it's in. You know, Burlington's a really cool place. This this location and everything, and I mean, I don't know, how can I compare the Pipe Classic to anything else? It's really. It's probably more of a vacation than any other event that I do, which is saying something, since it's a pretty good life, you know, going around blowing glass and like hanging out with people. We drink beers, and, you know, we just kind of do what we want, and like it's and yet has been like financially viable for me too, you know. So I don't know, it's a beautiful thing, man. The scene is a better place because of the Pipe Classic, for sure.
That's weird. It filled up with water because it was cooling in there and it sucked the water into it. Oh, so strange. I'm Kristian Merwin, and this is the Chinese dragon face. It's a upline split flow percolator bubbler, and it's a fusion of my pipe and jewelry designs. It came out. I'm really happy. This is the first time I've ever done a flame off, or a timed glass blowing competition. I used Jasper Red and Silver Strike 5. I love the Jasper Red. It takes heat really well. It doesn't overstrike. I run my kiln really hot. I kept this at 1125 the whole day because of the complicated joinery on it. The split flow definitely put some stresses into the glass when you put it together. I had some problems with the diffuser ball on the back. The first one I stuck on, I completely closed off one of the holes and had to cut it off and put another one on, and the second one didn't fit really well and there were some gaping holes I had to fill, and after I filled those, the whole piece cracked across the back, and it was like 10 minutes left in my heat on Thursday night, and I was falling apart. It was hard to sleep Thursday night, and I got up Friday morning and turned the kiln way up to 1150 and just grabbed it, and as fast as I could got a hand torch on it, and sealed the cracks right away and straightened out the bubble, blew it back into the right shape, and it never cracked again after that. In the end, yes, it went really, really well. I did exactly what I wanted to. Had 10 minutes left, so I used the whole time. Didn't bite off more than I could chew, but also didn't make it too easy, I feel really good about it.
Happiness, which is the satisfaction of desire, is the negative element. It's a brief moment of not striving. True to the nature of the will, there's no final end to this cycle of desire, suffering, and satisfaction.
Snic, and I've been working glass for about 13 years, something like that, 97 maybe. I'm going to do something in the similar vein, you know, and kind of like my approach to it is that this is a competition, and you know, there's the pipe aspect of it, you know, and then there's also like just the presentation, the artistry, the overall thing. And the way I approach it is I'm making an overall piece. I don't want it to just be a pipe, you know, and it doesn't, this is more about making, you know, something kind of just crazy. So it doesn't necessarily have to be this crazy functional everyday piece, and that's kind of like mine's more of like a homage, you know, big kind of show piece thing. It doesn't necessarily, it's more for like the beauty of the piece than the actual like functionality of it, you know. So.
How has your work evolved since you started?
That developed through a lot of hard times, a lot of struggle, but no, it was just a long time of making work, and a lot of the work I made for a long time was more kind of production style, like just you know, more about I was able to do what I wanted to do in life by making glass. Glass wasn't necessarily like the main thing for me, and so traveled for a couple of years, did some other things, and kind of came back to it, and you know, really decided to focus on it and know that that's what I was going to be doing for a long time. So kind of really wanted to carve something out for myself, and also at the same time the industry is changing, so a lot of the stuff that you could make, you know, and just sell easily is being made, you know, overseas and being sold for, you know, 1,000% less than what you could sell it for ever. So it's it forces you to evolve, and the only way you can really survive is to carve your niche out. Like a lot of places, there's, you know, Eusheen and Seattle and Cali, and there's just kind of like clusters of these people, and there's developed styles or certain things, and I guess Philly has its own flavor, but it's not generally towards the traditional pipe making, you know, style, and I think that's where we're kind of different, where we branch off a little bit into doing stuff. For us, it's like, why are we going to compete with all these other guys that are doing it amazingly when there's, you know, just an ocean full of ideas and things to do, to pick from. So where we lived was once like an epicenter. It was like, you know, the first university was out of Philly. There was like all these things that were coming out of there at a certain time. The city had peaked, and then, you know, it's kind of in shambles now, and that's kind of like, you know, that goes even for our own country. You know, we're like this beautiful thing, or like whatever it once was, is now kind of like rotten and getting kind of nasty and beat up, and you know, it's not so pretty anymore. All those things that are going on that are crazy in the world kind of filter into my head, into my work, and just kind of like, I guess overall it's just like, you know, a rundown regression type thing that I kind of put through my work. Yeah, no, it definitely, it pushes you, it makes you think about your glass in a different way. Most glass blowers, you have the luxury of taking your time to usually make work, and I mean, not like, yeah, just take your time to make the work, but not really force yourself to accomplish something in a short amount of time. So kind of, it's like a different type of recipe for making your work. So you figure that out, and you can actually, you learn a lot by pushing the materials as far as you can, you know, push it. So you learn a lot in that process. Title of this piece, Distressed. It is black glass. Pretty much the whole thing is all black glass, and it is copper leafed and bronze leafed with some spray paint and patina involved in it. Well, basically it's just kind of representational of the form. You know, this is like the tube is a major device and vehicle that people use daily, all the time, and just kind of wanted to make that vessel form and also have sculptural, more kind of different element involved that goes along with it. I don't know, there's many levels to what's going on with smoking and everything. And
Want to talk a little about this figure here, because you had some of these figures last year, and they're in.
Yeah, it's just a character I do. It's kind of a theme through my work of kind of technology and surveillance and camera on her head and just kind of like watching over the piece, you know, the deity of the piece. So, yeah.
How'd it go this year?
Went pretty well. Yeah. Definitely, I would think.
Cool. Do it again next year, maybe?
Yeah, for sure, if I get invited back.
I made an inline bubbler with the Punished Head series. I use a lot of gears and nuts and bolts and things like that. Try and keep a lot of industrial type looks and feels. Try and stick with like a simple color scheme. I like using molds, shaping things. I like textures, stuff like that. I like the use of gears and mechanical stuff.
Where do you get some of the sprockets and stuff like that?
There's a metal surplus place in South Jersey near where I live. These are from a Punished Head series. I've been doing stuff related to the series for like maybe 6-8 months. One's a simple Sherlock, and one is like a straight inline bubbler.
How'd the competition go?
Smooth.
Nice.
Nice.
Do it again?
Sure. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
You know, if you look at the pieces that the 12 competitors make during the Pipe Classic, I don't think that you could, as a human being on planet Earth, actually stand in front of any of the pieces and look me right in the eye and say that that's not art. So naturally, it's art.
You know, Impressionism was denied as art. You know, jazz music was denied as art, and that's like become, you know, when you look at it in that light, it's like a badge of honor that we can wear as pipe makers, you know, that, I mean, graffiti is actually the best example because it starts off as this illegal thing, as vandalism, and now, you know, go look at Comedy Central's ads or go look at the sign fontage in any town, you know, any major city, and it's heavy with graffiti. And but it's like juxtaposed against these actual like pieces of graffiti that may even be illegal, you know, and that's where it came from, and this is where it went, and it's big business now. You could not deny the fact that the glass pipe pushes the medium of glass, especially borosilicate glass, more than any other object. You know, you have more people working with this type of material, making these products and actually selling them rather than being on like the hobbyist level. And the bottom line is, look, you know, just look at the techniques coming out of that culture, and they're bar none. You know, like they're blowing people away in all walks of life.
Most glassblowers start off, you know, filling niches or finding an open niche for a certain style pipe that they can make well quickly, and they'd start off, you know, kind of just broadening the styles of pieces they make, and I feel like a lot of the glassblowers that I knew anyway in the beginning, they like their whole goal wasn't necessarily to be recognized as an artist. You know, they just wanted to be part of this incredible new thing they're seeing. And then I think as the years went on, I think even some of the glassblowers I knew kind of stopped and thought, oh, wait a minute, I am an artist, you know? I am an artist and I make art, you know? And so here we go, let me show you what I make now. And then, you know, here's a lot of pipe makers and glassblowers, you know, 3, 4, 5 years into their career, all of a sudden explode and blow up and start making things that are Smithsonian worthy, you know, and you know, that was it was interesting to watch that all evolve.
Again, another amazing pipe classic. And all right, fourth place, and the winner of the GTT Scorpion, Zach Puchowitz. for second. Cece's gonna come up here. We have a tie for second and third. And it's between Salt and Dizzle. Alright, so Cece, come on up. She's gonna choose 11 judges.
And they're gonna cast their votes
Randomly, so you can just point to anybody and they'll come up. And you guys are basically gonna come up and re-vote between these two guys. Go ahead, Cece.
You, wait, is he, yeah, you, back there.
Yeah. Sam?
Wait, and you,
No, you just come on.
the girl behind Kurt. Yeah.
All right.
You get some girl reaction in the house. You're great. 5 more.
The suspense is killing me.
Five more. Wait, is she in it?
I think my favorite one is honestly this one. The mouth is right on the mouth. There's something about this guy's face. It's just like.
I left one of his eyelids off so he could be like.
Feel
free to rearrange them if you want. You know.
That's part of the beginning. 10, 11.
Okay, we got her.
No more.
A vote for me is a vote for change and new vending machines in the lunchroom. And,
All right, third place. The 2009 Pipe Classic. Dizzle. Second place.
Hey, thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for coming.
Who's the winner?
I guess just make room like for.
Yes.
And the winner of the 2009 Pipe Classic, and the winner of a Delta Mag, Snic. Thank you, everybody. And that's it.
I really can't say that I'm on the proper course. I get lost when I drop a song. Some are fan base, some are blaze a clown with J. I got a pocket full of tropical on a rampage. So know me alone. If I drop the roll, just to lock it alone. With my hands raised, I'ma make way for change. You're gonna debate the philosophical.
But I wanna take this no more, don't roll, but it go change, so what? No love, gonna take the mainstream over high. You were never gonna stop me, God, you knock me like I'm Rocky, but I'm not boxing. I'm making like a bat, tuning in the back of the club. No, never at the club, always in the house. Gotta make love, gotta make time to break a brand beat with your friends. Gotta make ends meet every week we meet up and exchange ideas on the page and it's so sick. Flip the script and it's brains, not just asses, fast to the fashion. Letting go with the fetish, letting go with the message. That's divine, that's a fine line between genius. That meaningless, what I mean is that we get this trick. Looking at your kid, no rich, your kid, nah. I try to devise a mad scheme to capture the faculties. Get your back of these, get your face in the form of crazy. Take notice, something approach, slow with emotion. For lack of my mouth and make proud. All the people love me now, but take care. All of the fake and making this grace, taking the bacon, make it great and make hits. Cause I got the massive flow, disaster striking the amplify my mind. No time with the time it takes a rhyme. Inside of my heart, I know there's a part. Taking it, twerking it, talk, fighting away. Folks in the locomotive, carrying emotion to the masses, moving around like an ocean.
I really can't say that I'm on the
I'm getting you live, giving you music, getting you high. Get in the groove and I'm grabbing the skunk. Gotta sit back and relax, it's a must. Look at the movies, look at the TV, knocking in everything, not enough reading. What are you doing? Are you insane? Do you really like T-Pain? This is ridiculous, not enough messages, not enough ingredients. Bringing intelligence, bringing the fellowship, bringing the beats, bringing the rhymes, bringing the heat. Taking your conscience, knocking the nines, just fucking with the fancy stockers. When I rock your soul, it's sockless. Rapping outside the boxes when I rock this.
I really can't say that I'm on the proper course. I get lost when I drop a song. Some are flint bass, some are blaze a blunt with you. If I got a pocket full of tropical on a rampage, so don't be alone. If I drop the roll, just to lock it low. With my hands raised, I'ma make way for change and contemplate the philosophical.
Is it working?
Yeah.
We're here with Moondog. Moondog, if you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself?
I could.
There you go.